Steve Yzerman, man, this is a desperate move. It's a very appropriate move, but it's one that was desperate nonetheless considering the Red Wings and their circumstances. The Red Wings today have signed Michael Hutchinson to a one-year contract. A guy who has played 153 NHL games since 2013-14. I'm pretty sure most of us are familiar with Michael Hutchinson and his overall profile. But earlier today, the Wings signed goalie Michael Hutchinson to a one-year, two-way contract for the remainder of the 23-24 season. Hutchinson is now 33 years old, and he has spent the entire 23-24 year with the Grand Rapids Griffins, posting a .571 record with a .298 goals against average and an .895 save percentage. He's also got one shutout in 13 games played. Now, firstly, you may be wondering, wait a minute, the guy's in Grand Rapids, why is he signing a contract? Like, is he not already under contract? What does this mean? Well, because Michael Hutchinson was only signed to an AHL Grand Rapids Griffins contract, he technically wasn't allowed to be called up to the NHL unless the Wings themselves signed him to a deal. That is what they did today, and it gives Hutchinson the right to come to Detroit, play in Detroit, not in Grand Rapids specifically, but with the regular Red Wings in the NHL. The 6'3", 201-pound netminder also appeared in 2 preseason games with the Red Wings while signed to a PTO. He split the 22-23 campaign between the AHL's Henderson Silver Knights and Columbus Blue Jackets, making 7 appearances with the Silver Knights before playing in 16 NHL games with the Blue Jackets last year. Originally selected by the Bruins in the 3rd round of the 2008 NHL Draft, Hutchinson has compiled a 57, 61, and 18 record with a .293 goals against average and a .902 save percentage with 6 shutouts in 153 NHL games, with the Jets, the Panthers, the Leafs, the Avalanche, and the Blue Jackets since 2013-14. Wow, what a mouthful. This really has been a journeyman through and through when it comes to his overall profile, so I'm not too surprised considering just the amount of traveling that Hutchinson has had to go through. I mean, it even goes out there and says here, his stats at the bottom: 1990 Barrie, Ontario, 6'3", 201, right-handed shooter, which is interesting to note. I mean, you don't really see the shooting categories going out there and getting mentioned too often, but he does catch right, so I guess that's what the article is referring to here. Initially a Boston Bruins goaltender back in 2008. If we go over to Hutchinson and his elite prospects page, we all kind of recognize this as the case here. Let's just move the page back to make things seamless here. Yep, there you go. 33 years old, 6'3". We already talked about all this last year. He was decent, not great. .877 save percentage, .429 goals against average. There's a reason the article didn't mention Hutchinson's Blue Jackets numbers, but he has had a few okay years in the past. I mean, his backup duty with Toronto in 2020-2021 saw him put up a .919. He also has been pretty consistent in the AHL everywhere he has gone. He also was a .914 save percentage goalie with the Winnipeg Jets back in 2014-15. That seems to be the best year he's ever had, if you don't count the .943 save percentage stint he had with the Jets in 2013-14, so literally a decade ago. Michael Hutchinson is coming to Detroit for one specific purpose: to help these guys out in relief, because you had yourselves the other day the Red Wings losing out on both Alex Lyon and Ville Husso. On Saturday, Lyon had to leave the game due to an injury, and now Ville Husso had to leave yesterday's game against the Anaheim Ducks due to an injury. James Reimer ended up finishing the night in goal, and the Wings were on emergency backup duty, considering the lack of goaltenders within the organization. So they needed to make a signing, they needed to bring somebody on board, and Hutchinson didn't have an NHL contract, which is why they just defaulted to the most accessible available option. Now, we do have a few extra tweets here. Ryan Hanna of the Wingwheel Pod said this: Hutchinson is Detroit's stopgap solution to both Lyon and Husso being injured. Makes sense. It's too early for Kosa, and we don't want to throw him into this fire. There are some Wings fans that are talking about this in the replies. I see not wanting to bring Kosa up just yet because he needs to do more in the AHL first, but was there nothing better than Hutchinson available? He's just a stopgap, but still. I think the whole too early for all of our prospects adds to the frustration. Look around the league at all the kids that get a long look. Sure, they make mistakes, but that forces them to prove it more, and long term, it's better than never. There are a few interesting replies here in regards to the Wings and their goaltending. So you're telling me we have 4 goalies now? Yeah, that's the case, Tommy boy, but that's only if everybody is healthy. And assuming, people start to recover, this is the timeline that we're looking at in regards to these names. Coach Lalonde says that he expects Ville Husso and Constant to be out week to week. Alex Lyon is out until at least after Christmas. So the thing is, when you think about Christmas literally being a week away, I mean, Ville Husso week to week, so we won't get another evaluation until next week. Alex Lyon, it's not going to be until next week when we potentially see him coming back. If best case scenario, these two are only out for, let's say, 2 weeks or so, then Michael Hutchinson is going to get that NHL salary for a bit. He's going to get paid. He's going to be on the Red Wings roster whilst the roster freeze goes on. And then, what? He gets sent down to the AHL and the Wings have 4 goalies that are available to them under contract? I mean, if we go over to the Wings and their cap-friendly page right here, who else do they have under contract here? Yeah, so Husso, Reimer, Lyon. These are 3 guys available to them in the NHL. And then if you scroll down to the AHL, they've got John Lethman and they've got Sebastian Cossa available to them too. Add to the mix the Michael Hutchinson contract, and that's 6 goaltender contracts that are being taken up by this team. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when everybody gets healthy again, but we gotta hope that that possibility comes out soon, because Alex Lyon had a pretty good stint with the Red Wings this year. .932 save percentage in 7 games played, 214 goals against average. This guy has been a beast, and that has been a pattern a lot of people have been consistent with, just watching the games, watching how Alex Lyon has continued to backstop and just do his job. He's been a lot better than the other 2 goaltenders here. James Reimer had a .908 save percentage in 9 games played, and Ville Husso .893. He has definitely looked like the worst of the 3 goaltenders so far in the 23-24 season. He has not been good. For some reason, the team just plays a lot better when they're in front of Lyon. They have more confidence. They know that their goaltender is there to bail them out if they make any mistakes, and it makes them play a lot more free. No disrespect to Ville Husso. Obviously, we want to see him progress and grow in the ways that we want goalies to do so. It's just Alex Lyon has exhibited much better results so far, and the Red Wings play better in front of him because of it. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Red Wings signing Michael Hutchinson to a 1-year contract. Now, we don't have any details as to what the contract looks like. I'm just going to assume that it's an ELC, or not ELC, but I'm just going to assume that the contract is like $800,000, $900,000. So for Michael Hutchinson, good on this guy for getting the NHL salary once again, even if it is just for a limited time. Being sent in the AHL and only having an AHL deal will severely limit the amount of earnings you're able to get per year. So getting that NHL bag, getting that NHL roster time is going to significantly increase his payday. So good on him for sticking around and just being the last guy available. The Red Wings don't want to rush Sebastian Cossa, who is doing his thing, which is why Hutchinson got the deal. Cossa, by the way, .904 save percentage in 11 games played. John Lethman has a .923, so he's been doing really well in the 1 game that he played. Michael Hutchinson, though, pretty bad numbers in the AHL, not gonna lie. It's kind of underwhelming seeing that this is going to be the guy who is going to replace a roster spot with Detroit, but it's part of the plan, right? This is it, the Yzer plan. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Michael Hutchinson signing a 1-year contract to end off 23-24 with the Detroit Red Wings. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.